So you all know what is enzyme? Just tell me what is enzyme.
It's an inorganic substance, proteinous in nature, that speeds up. No, that's catalyst.
It is catalyst. Okay, you are right. You are not wrong in a sense, but you thought that it was catalyst because
Yeah.
you, yeah. You are right in that sense. Okay, catalyst. Yes, you mean to say enzyme is a catalyst, and that is organic catalyst. Okay, and we call it biocatalyst. So what is enzyme? Enzyme is a biocatalyst.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Good. So this is a biocatalyst. Enzyme is a biocatalyst. Means it is organic compound. It is an organic compound. So actually enzyme is very much effective than catalyst. Catalyst will increase the rate of reaction by 100 to 1000 times. Okay, 100 to 1000 times. But the enzyme has capability to increase the rate of reaction million to trillion, more than trillion, maybe approaching quadrillion. So million to trillion. Trillion, how many zero are there in trillion? 12. So it is million to trillion times. It will accelerate the reaction from million to trillion times. So you can imagine the reaction will happen in no time, within a fraction of second. So this is the power of enzyme. I told you yesterday only enzyme is there are two things: so energy transformation mechanism and this energy coupling and enzymes. That is actually a marvelous thing in our body. That is doing, those are doing a wonderful, enzymes are doing a wonderful job in our body. Without enzyme, we can't expect of having life. And if there is deficiency in metabolic enzyme, we will have inborn error of metabolism. So we will talk about inborn error of metabolism also when we proceed through our lectures. So let's start with the today's topic, enzymes. So with this introduction, let's start with the enzymes. So you can see in this topic we will first define enzyme, then we will explain the uniqueness of enzyme, what is enzyme all about. So we will talk about the characteristic of enzyme. Okay, identify and evaluate the coenzyme chemistry and function, classify enzymes into 6 categories. This is the one of the, actually whole enzyme topic is very whatever very I put there, it is less for enzyme. So enzyme is a very root topic. I'll make you, actually you will find when you study enzyme anywhere, you will find it very boring, but I'll make it very interesting. And believe me, trust me, I'll make it very interesting. So explain the factors that affect enzymes. So we will talk about these all things. So it will not make that sense to you. This topic actually, this will not make that sense. I'll make it a sense after this slide. So what is, first let me define the enzyme. Enzyme is a macromolecular biocatalyst. It is, the molecule is large, very large molecule. It is generally made up of protein. So protein, generally made up of protein. So accelerating chemical reaction by decreasing activation energy. So remember this, activation energy. It decreases activation energy. So in the sense, what happens is it does not decrease activation energy, because no enzyme has capability to decrease energy, activation energy. What does this enzyme do is, so if the reaction, this is, remember this is the hill. Okay, if enzyme, the reaction has to go through this, so this is the main reaction pathway. What does enzyme do is, enzyme put a tunnel here, and enzyme chooses a different pathway. In this pathway, the enzyme, the reaction will have less, effortlessly we go, substrate will react and form product effortlessly. So this is what enzyme do, put a tunnel into a hill of reaction. So that is what enzyme do. This is how enzyme actually chooses a different pathway, okay, than the original pathway. Enzyme chooses a different pathway than the original pathway, which have low activation energy. And the more appropriate terminology would be, enzyme chooses a pathway having less activation energy, okay, rather than we call it decrease, it will decrease activation energy. But textbook, this is the textbook line. So in textbook, every textbook you will find that enzyme increases the rate of reaction by decreasing the activation energy. But enzyme does not take part in reaction as such, because catalyst does not take part in reaction. It accelerates reaction by decreasing activation energy. Just remember, I have given you concept how does it decrease activation energy. Actually, it chooses, enzyme basically chooses a different pathway having low activation energy. Now enzymes are proteins. Generally all enzymes are proteins. But when you study genetics, many enzymes you will find as ribozymes. So in genetics, the enzymes you will find ribozyme enzymes will be there. The reaction of genetics is a next level reaction. If you understand the biochemistry reaction, it is a next level biochemical reaction, and there you will find the ribosome is coming into play. But in biochemistry, when I teach you, so most of the enzyme will be protein. So enzymes are protein. Now molecules upon which enzyme act are called substrate, and the molecule that is formed is product. So understand this terminology: enzyme, then substrate. The reaction, if A and B happens, so A and B are substrate. We call it substrate. So this is terminology we will be using. And then the product formed is product itself. So there is no change in terminology for product, but here substrate is the terminology, not reactant. We are not using reactant, though it is reactant. Reactant in our body are called substrate. So let's talk about the properties of enzymes. So this is the main objective. If you understand this topic, so you will understand enzymes. Actually, we will elaborate this slide only. So in the whole 3 classes, we actually have 3 classes, I think. So in the whole 3 classes, we will be elaborating only this slide. So if you understand this slide, if you memorize this slide, you will have command over enzyme topic. Now let's begin with this topic. So enzyme, what are the properties of enzyme? It increases the speed, and it is very selective for its substrate. It does not bind everything. So if glucokinase is there, it will only bind glucose only. So this is selectivity. So it will select a particular substrate. A specificity, it will catalyze a specific reaction. The specificity for reaction, and the selectivity for substrate. So some enzyme will catalyze only oxidation. Some enzyme will catalyze only transferase reaction. So we will talk about that. So reaction condition, enzyme will work in very specific reaction condition, milder reaction condition. And active site, in all enzymes has active site, where the enzyme will catalyze the reaction. And all enzyme are subjected to regulation. So all enzyme will be regulated. Now I'll give you a mnemonics for this characteristic. Just remember this: triple S RAR. Okay, triple S RAR. Remember this formula: triple S RAR. R for reaction condition, A for active site, R for regulation. Reaction condition, active site, and regulation. And triple S is speed, selectivity, and specificity. Now when we talk about speed means kinetics. We will talk about kinetics. Speed means kinetics. Just remember, speed means kinetics. Here, when we talk about selectivity, selectivity will be for substrate selectivity. And then specificity, when we talk about specificity, it will be specific reaction. So specificity will be related to classification of enzyme. So we will talk about classification of enzyme. We will talk about kinetics also. Then this our reaction condition will be related to factors affecting enzyme. Factors affecting, you can see temperature, pH, affecting enzymes. So today we are going to talk about classification and factors affecting enzyme. These two, S and R. This one, S and R. In next class we will be talking about kinetics. Okay. So this is, if you remember this, if you understand the properties of enzyme, you will understand everything. So we will actually talk this topic in detail in subsequent classes. So factors affecting enzymes. Now active site. So active site, in active site we will talk about the enzyme, how enzyme is formed. So active site only. So enzyme, this enzyme whole body is made up of protein, but active site has got some, also active site may have some different organic or inorganic component. Okay, we will talk about that enzyme composition, enzyme structure and composition, So today only we will talk about it. Today we will talk about enzyme structure and composition, factors affecting enzyme, and we will talk about classification. We will try to reach factors affecting enzyme. Let's see we will do today or not. Now this 3 topic we will do, and capacity of enzyme regulation, enzyme control, regulation. This is the topic we will talk in next class, enzyme regulation. So you have seen, we will study speed means kinetics, we will study selectivity, so substrate. So we will study about substrate when we proceed through the metabolism. So substrate we will study there. Now specificity means classification, which is specificity. So reaction condition means factors affecting enzyme. Active site we will study what are the composition of enzyme. So how enzyme is formed. So what are the components of enzyme? We will study in this active site as enzyme components. So topic will change, but the reaction we will actually study about these all characteristics of enzyme. So we will talk about these are the characteristics of enzyme, and these all characteristics make enzyme very effective and highly specific. Okay, you understood? Everybody understood? Just tell me. This is the most important slide. You can see the speed being increased from million to trillion. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any question? Is there any question? Okay. Let's talk about it. So coenzyme and cofactors. So what does this mean when we talk about coenzyme and cofactor? We are talking about what? We are talking about active site. Remember that. When we talk about coenzyme and cofactor, we are talking about active site. So active site of enzyme has coenzyme and cofactor. What is active site? We will talk about what is active site. Active site is site where reaction will happen. So whole enzyme, if you see the enzyme, in whole enzyme reaction does not happen. Reaction happens here at the active site, in the mouth of enzyme. So this part is not this part will not have reaction. This part will have reaction. The site where reaction occurs is called active site, and in that site you will have coenzyme and cofactor. Okay, in that site the enzyme will have coenzyme and cofactor. And some enzymes require presence of non-protein substance. This non-protein substance for their catalytic activity. Enzyme require non-protein part. This non-protein part is called coenzymes. And especially which enzyme require the oxidoreductase and transferase generally. Almost all oxidoreductase require coenzyme. There is no exception that oxidoreductase does not require coenzyme. All oxidoreductase require coenzyme or cofactor. And some of the transferase, most of the transferase will require. We'll talk about this oxidoreductase and transferase. Put it in your memory right now. So I have talked about this. Non-protein substrate is organic. Non-protein substrate, if it is organic, we call it coenzyme. Okay. When it is inorganic, we call it non-protein substrate. When it is inorganic, we call it cofactor. The cofactors are this: iron, magnesium, that we talked yesterday. Minerals. So these are vitamins. These are made from vitamins. You can see. So these coenzymes are made up of vitamins, and these cofactors are made up of minerals. So you can understand better where these vitamins and minerals come. How does this vitamin and mineral help our body? So vitamins and minerals comes here. So minerals come as cofactor, vitamins come as coenzyme. So we will see how vitamin come as coenzyme and how minerals come as cofactor. So inorganic is called cofactor, organic is called coenzyme. And a coenzyme or metal ion, that is very tightly. It can be both. But when they are very tightly bound, we call it prosthetic group. When it is very tightly bound to enzyme, we call it prosthetic group. Now these coenzymes will provide a chemical teeth to enzyme. This coenzyme will provide a chemical teeth to enzyme. So see, this is apoenzyme. The enzyme devoid of its coenzyme is called apoenzyme. When you bind this coenzyme to enzyme, it becomes a whole capable enzyme. It is incapable enzyme. It is incapable, inactive enzyme. That is why it is apoenzyme. Protein part is apoenzyme. When you bind this coenzyme with this apoenzyme, it becomes complete enzyme and very active enzyme. Active enzyme. It is inactive, and then when you combine coenzyme or cofactor, both, so it will become. And coenzyme is also used as a general term. Okay, when we sometimes use coenzyme as general terms, when we call coenzymes, it also includes coenzyme, organic part plus cofactor, both. So coenzyme is also used as general terms. In some book, I have found that cofactor is also used as general term. So don't confuse with that. Just for the timing, remember coenzyme is an organic molecule or cofactor is inorganic. And sometimes in general sense, you can use coenzymes also. Okay, but concept is more important. These both are teeth of the enzyme. Now this will form a hollow enzyme. You can see here, I have made a pictorial. I have made a sketch so that you will understand better. So you can see this. I have made it A. So this you can remember active site. So put everything into your imagination. I told yesterday only, imagination is very powerful. So put this enzyme cartoon in your imagination and imagine that these are the enzyme. This is active site, is the site where chemical reaction will occur, and this active site is made up of side chain of amino acid. Yes, yesterday I told you what is side chain of amino acid. Side chain of amino acid is face part of amino acid. Face part here, you can see here. Where is amino acid? You can see this is the side chain of amino acid. This is the side chain of amino acid. This amino acid has acid group and amino group, and this is the side chain of amino acid. Side chain of amino acid is like face, and all amino acids are different in this side chain only. So side chain of amino acid is very important for catalytic activity. This teeth of enzyme is made up of side chain of amino acid, and plus it is also made up of vitamins and minerals. So these things will be there as this teeth of enzyme, side chain plus vitamins and minerals. Some of the enzymes, they will not have vitamins, minerals, but all oxidoreductase enzyme has this coenzymes. It is not necessary all enzyme will have coenzyme. Okay, some enzymes will not have coenzymes, but some enzymes will have coenzymes, and coenzymes along with the side chain. Where the enzyme where coenzyme is not there, the side chain will function as teeth. The side chain of amino acid will be teeth. But some enzyme where this coenzyme is also there, so teeth will be formed by side chain plus coenzyme. And coenzymes means this is vitamins and minerals. Minerals are cofactor, and this is vitamins are coenzymes. And if these either vitamin or minerals, if they are tightly bound to this protein part, we call it prosthetic group. Remember this. So and this is the most important part of enzyme where reaction will happen. And I told you, what do you understand by this teeth? Teeth is side chain and coenzyme. Vitamins and minerals will form coenzymes. Yeah. Now this body part of enzyme, you can see body part of enzyme has an allosteric site. You can see the site where some molecule will bind. This is called allosteric site. This is body of enzyme. And here what will happen? Some molecule will bind and control the enzyme. Okay, this will control the enzyme. So as you control the animal through attacking on the body part, so the same way molecule will bind to the body part of this enzyme and actually changes the structure of this enzyme a little bit. And that is how the enzyme will be regulated through binding of the allosteric site. So this active site plus allosteric, the two sites are very important. And enzyme require a particular, I told you, temperature and condition. Environment of enzyme should be a very particular. So this is, remember this is very important thing about enzyme. So you can imagine enzyme that way. Now enzyme, coenzyme, I told you, it is loosely bound and organic. When apoenzyme, it is loosely bound and inorganic, metal. When it is tightly bound, either this coenzyme or this cofactor, it is called prosthetic group. So this is prosthetic group is tightly bound. Now let's talk about this coenzymes, vitamin part. How is vitamin contribute? How? So vitamin B12 will appear in enzymes as cobalamin. There are only two enzymes. in our body that contain vitamin B12. I'll write them here, okay? So that you will memorize. Only two enzymes are there. One is methionine synthase. Methionine synthase. And second enzyme is methyl malonyl coenzyme A mutase. So only two enzymes are there. So understanding vitamin B12 is very easy. Only two enzymes are there. In this enzyme, the vitamin B12 is present in the form of cobalamin. It is bound to some organic compound like this, and at the center cobalt will be there, and this is cobalamin, vitamin B12. So these two enzymes will be there. And folic acid, the folic acid will be present as tetrahydrofolate, and it is always a coenzyme, never prosthetic group, always a coenzyme, never tightly bound, so always a coenzyme. So tetrahydrobiopterin, and this folic acid is involved in one carbon transfer. Folic acid meaning, the meaning of folic acid, just remember, one carbon transfer reaction. So this is folic acid. Niacin, yesterday only I told you, niacin means a nicotinamide. So niacin will form a nucleotide. And it is NAD and NADP, nicotinamide, adenine. What is the D for? Just tell me, anyone?
Diphosphate.
Diphosphate, is it diphosphate? Yesterday I corrected you. Is it diphosphate? Yes? Anyone? Destiny? Madison? Will you speak?
Is it dinucleotide?
Yeah, great. Dinucleotide. So it is not diphosphate. It is a dinucleotide. It is not diphosphate, it is dinucleotide. D for dinucleotide. And D for, here also D for dinucleotide, and this is phosphate. And AD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Dinucleotide. So NAD and NADP. Riboflavin will form FAD, flavin adenine dinucleotide, flavin mononucleotide. So this is how this vitamin B3, this is vitamin B3, vitamin B2 will form this FMN, and pyridoxine, vitamin B6 will form pyridoxal phosphate. It will bind with phosphate and it will form pyridoxal phosphate, PLP. When I tell you vitamin B6 anywhere in enzyme, you have to remember it is a PLP. Now thymine will form thymine pyrophosphate, PP for pyrophosphate. Thymine will bind to phosphate and it becomes thymine pyrophosphate. So thymine is vitamin B1. So vitamin B1 will convert into pyrophosphate, pyridoxine into pyro. So remember, this is very, very important. And this is part of teeth of enzyme. This is the part of teeth of enzyme. So all NADA, FADH2, pyridoxal phosphate and TPP, they are part of teeth of enzyme. Now let's talk about this enzyme. So what will happen? So these are the actually classification of coenzyme. So what are the function? Based on function group they transfer. So some actually coenzyme, they will transfer hydrogen, and some will transfer group other than hydrogen. You can see these are the group which will transfer hydrogen. You will see everywhere NAD, NADP, FMN, FAD. These are fall under group of enzyme dehydrogenase. And this, there is one called like lipoic acid. Lipoic acid is also part of certain enzymes. We will talk about lipoic acid when we talk about the glycolysis or Krebs cycle. We will talk about lipoic acid. Coenzyme Q, it is part of electron transportation. So these all coenzymes are hydrogen transferring coenzyme. In addition to so except these coenzymes, all enzymes you can see they transfer some other group. So you can see coenzyme A, this is called coenzyme A. This is made from vitamin B5. So vitamin B5 is pantothenic acid. Remember, I will ask this question: pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acid make vitamin, this coenzyme thiamine. You know thiamine is vitamin B1. So thiamine pyrophosphate will transfer some other group. Here pyridoxal phosphate will also transfer some other group. Folate he will transfer some other group. Biotin will transfer some other group. Biotin is B7. Vitamin
Excuse me,
B7.
sir.
Oh, yes, tell me.
So can you go a bit slower?
Okay. So cobalamin will actually transfer what? So it also transfers some other group. Let's talk for this slide. So these are the enzymes actually they transfer different groups. So biotin, the same thing, actually same thing I'm repeating. If you can see, I'm elaborating this part. This all coenzyme will transfer hydrogen, but I'm elaborating this part. Biotin is always tightly attached to enzyme. Okay, it is very tightly attached to enzyme. It is always a prosthetic group. Remember, biotin is always a prosthetic group. And this biotin actually transfer carbon dioxide. We will talk about this biotin in a lot more detail in enzyme chapter only. So biotin carboxylate add carbon dioxide to reaction. Coenzyme A is helpful in transferring acyl group. Sorry. This vitamin B12 is helpful in transferring alkyl group and also hydrogen group. So mainly alkyl group. Now flavin. So actually it will use both at the same time, and from one place alkyl will be transferred from other place. So this will exchange. Hydrogen will be exchanged with alkyl group within the molecule. Now flavin adeno FAD will transfer electron, as we already know. Lipoid will also transfer electron. It is part of hydrogen transferring. It is also part of hydrogen transfer. NAD, as you have also seen, it will transfer H- hydride ion, and pyridoxal phosphate amino group. It is part of enzyme called transaminase. So tetrahydrofolate, it is, as I have already told you, tetrahydrofolate is part of one carbon group transfer. And thiamine pyrophosphate, TPP, will transfer aldehyde group. So just we will actually come through these all groups when we talk about metabolism. So don't worry about these all groups. Just I have given you a glimpse. So we will talk in detail about this. For the time being, you just have a glimpse and have an idea. And if it is possible, memorize a little bit, so that when we repeat, so you will not feel like new thing when we repeat the same thing. So you will not feel like new thing. So these are the teeth part of enzyme. These are the teeth part of enzyme. So active teeth part of enzyme. So we already talked about teeth part of enzyme. So what is active site? Active site contains special pocket or cleft called active site. Active site contains amino acid side chain that create three-dimensional structure complementary to substrate. Actually, it is very specific to substrate. When substrate is like this, so substrate will fit exactly to it. And with the substrate, what will do? This active site will form enzyme substrate complex. So this substrate will bind to this enzyme, and then bind to this enzyme, and then a momentary intermediate compound will be formed. This is called enzyme substrate complex. In short, we will call ES complex. And ES complex will be converted into, it will break this complex, or it will be converted into enzyme and product complex. So it will break, or it will change the molecular structure. So let's say it will break, so it will form, what will form is enzyme product ultimately enzyme product complex will be formed, and then product will release from enzyme. So this is how reaction happens. So this is the steps of reaction. Any reaction will go through these phases. First, substrate will bind to enzyme substrate complex will form, and then after that enzyme product complex will be formed and product will be released. So this is the side chain. As I've already discussed you, I told you what is side chain. This is side chain. All amino acid has got side chain, and this is the active part of amino acid. And through side chain only we differentiate different amino acid. Here, this is the side chain. You can see this is the protein chain, and side chains are free always. You can see side chains are free. So these both amino group and acid group are engaged in bond formation. You can see amino group and acid group are engaged in bond formation in protein. Amino acid part of in protein, this amino group and acid group are engaged in bond formation, peptide bond formation. This is called peptide bond. But what is free is side chain is free. So that therefore the side chain is free to involve in reaction. So this is why side chain take part in reaction. So these are the side chain. You can see hydrophilic side chain. So OH containing some are hydrophilic side chain. So this hydrophilic side chain compound will take part in reaction. You can see this hydrophilic sulfur group containing side chain. Amino of lysine. This is guanidino group of arginine. You can see this is imidazole group of this histidine. So you can see this. These are grouped according to this nucleophile. So as you have studied in organic reaction, the reaction happens through nucleophilic attack, acid-base catalysis, electrophilic attack, like that. These are the nucleophile. What does nucleophile means? They will actually attack the part of molecule which is partially positively charged. Because this, you can see these are the negative. OH is negatively charged, so they will attack with the part of enzyme. For example, some molecule has CO group, so this is delta positive charge. This will attack this group. So these are the nucleophile. And acid-base catalysis, these are bases, and that it will attack the acid part of molecule. So this is the overview of mechanism. Even if you don't understand, there is no problem. So everything happens on catalytic. We are talking about catalytic side. You should not lose the track. We are talking about catalytic side. Okay. So now let's talk about classification. So in classification, what do we talk about the enzyme? RAR. What do we talk? We talk about the specificity. Specificity. So all enzymes are specific to a particular reaction. So we will classify enzymes into 6 groups according to specificity of enzyme. So we will classify enzyme into 6 groups. Let's see. So first let me tell you this classification. So we will classify into this 6 group. You can see. So this is the most important part of the enzyme. So one is oxidoreductase, second is transferase, third is hydrolase, and fourth is lyase, and this isomerase and ligases. So this is actually 6 group. You will have to understand this group according to name. This 1 number is given to oxidoreductase, 2 number is given to transferase, 3 number is given to hydrolase, 4 number is given to lyases, 5 number is given to isomerase, and 6 number is given to ligases. So you cannot interchange, you cannot reshuffle this order. Just one. How do you remember? O for oxidoreductase, O for oxidoreductase, and O for 1. So 1 for oxidoreductase, 1 for oxidoreductase, 2 for T for 2, and T for transferase. So you can remember T for 2 and T for transferase. That is why transferase occupied 2 position. H, if you see in H, if you see this is 3, okay, and if you place this 2 here and 1 like this, so it becomes H. So though it looks funny, you can remember H is for hydrolase. Hydrolase has 3, and for these 3, you can remember L, I, L. So whole mnemonics is O, T, H, L, I, L. Remember this mnemonics first. If you remember this mnemonics, so O for 1 oxidoreductase, 2 for transferase, 3 for hydrolase, and you will confuse between L and L. You can see L for lyase and L for ligase. They both are opposite in reaction. Lyase breaks the bond and ligase join the bond. And how do you remember this? Just count the number of letter here in lyase. Anyone? Reply, please. How many letters are there in lyase?
6.
How many letters are there? 2, 2,
6.
6. And how many letters are there in ligases?
7.
7.
Okay. It has got 7, it has got 6. So that is how this 6 will occupy lesser number 4, and you give 6 to ligases, because the number of letter, you see difference in number of letter. That way you will not confused. So 6 number just give to ligase, and because ligase has low number of letters in ligase is less, that is why put 4 number to ligase. Now you have to remember this in a trend. First is oxidoreductase, second is transferase, third is hydrolase, and fourth is liases, fifth is isomerase, and sixth is ligases. Now will you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is one of the important thing about enzyme. Okay, one of the important thing about enzyme. We already talked about active site. In I gave you the 3S RAR. I will talk about active site. What contributes for active site, and how this in side chain will react with compound. The side chain present in active site react with compound through electrophilic attack, nucleophilic attack, and acid-base reaction. So we already talked about active site. We are talking about what? This specificity. Among these 3S, we are talking about specificity. How every enzyme actually catalyze specific reaction. So enzyme catalyzing one group of enzyme is placed into one group. Those enzymes that catalyze oxidoreductase enzyme are placed in oxidoreductase group. Those group of enzymes which catalyze transferase reaction are catalyzed grouped into transferase group, and those enzymes that catalyze hydrolysis, so they are placed into hydrolase. Those enzymes that catalyze breaking of bond, that are placed in lyase. Those enzymes that actually isomerize the compound, that are placed into isomerase. And those compounds which actually join the bond together, they are placed into ligases. So these are the groups. These are the specificity of group of enzyme. Now within the group also, the enzyme will also separate into a specificity. So this is how we will see how they are separate in a specificity in a short while. And this actually nomenclature is like IUPAC nomenclature that you have studied in organic chemistry, and this is given by International Union of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, has given this nomenclature, and nomenclature has been proposed in 1964, and it has been modified in 1917, and actually it is constantly reviewed. So this enzyme classification is reviewed constantly. Sometimes what happens is some enzymes are placed into one group, and when the people learn, when research papers comes and when the reaction mechanism come in detail, then they are forced to place that enzyme into certain other group. So this is how this is constantly reviewed. Now see, so enzyme, let's talk about nomenclature. We talked about classification. Let's talk about nomenclature. So we name the enzyme according to two systems. One is recommended name, second is systemic name. Now recommended name is name you add just its simple name. Recommended name is common, like common name. So you add as is after substrate name. For example, when urea is broken down into ammonia and carbon dioxide, so compound is given name urease. That's the name of enzyme. This is simple name and common name. Recommended name is simple name, and we can call it common name that we use in organic chemistry. And substrate and other, you can either put age to substrate, or you put age to action it performs. So this becomes the enzyme name. Actually, we will be talking about this name only throughout our biochemistry. Common name. We will actually not talk about this. And actually, this name is very important. This systemic name will give you the reaction mechanism of enzyme, specificity of enzyme, how enzyme act. property behavior of enzyme. The whole systemic name is to give the behavior of that enzyme. If you want to understand the behavior of enzyme, you will have to understand, you will have to go for systemic name. But small, just it is enough for us to classify enzyme into 6 groups. Okay, we don't go into detail, but the systemic name will go into detail. Just classify group into 6 group, enzyme into 6 group is sufficient for us, our level. So we will just classify enzyme into 6 group and see those enzyme, which enzyme performs what type of reaction, and that will be sufficient for our conceptual understanding. So this is how we name the enzyme. Common name, you put the age after substrate name, and you put the age after action. So this becomes the common name. Now systemic name, what we will talk little bit about systemic name. We classify first into 6 group and allot a fixed number to 1 group. You can see we have classified into 6 group, allot a fixed number to 1 group. For example, 1 is allotted to oxidoreductase, 2 is for transferase, 3 for hydrolase, and 4 for lyases, and 5 for isomerase, and 6 for ligases. See, and this is one enzyme. I have taken an example of one enzyme here. You can see this enzyme oxidation number. The enzyme has this number. So one enzyme containing this number 2732. So one enzyme is given this name 2, 7, 3 and 2. You can see this name. So 2 signifies the group. We have already talked about that group. What is that 2 meaning? 2 means, just tell me, anyone.
Transferase.
Transferase.
Great. 2 for transferase. So our actually capacity ends here. We don't have to go forward. But in order to understand how this specificity is given a number, each enzyme specificity is given a particular number of group of 4 number. Each enzyme specificity is given a group of 4 number. We will see this. So this reaction is, this enzyme is a transferase enzyme. Okay, what does it transfer? It transfers phosphate. So this second number is called, this is called family. This is called subfamily number. This is called subfamily. And this is the individual name that is given to particular enzyme. So this is family, subfamily, subfamily, and this is a particular name number given to a certain enzyme. Okay, so you can see this. What does it do? It transfer. What does it transfer? Phosphate group. That is why it is called phosphotransferase. What is subclass? To what substrate it transfer phosphate group to what substrate? The substrate here is, acceptor here is nitrogenous group. So it transfers substrate to nitrogenous group. So this enzyme is transferase, transfer phosphate. This is a phosphotransferase and transfer to nitrogen group. So this is the one example. This is how you will write. We will take actually a real example of certain enzymes. Okay, don't worry. I have just given one. This is one given. This is actually example only. Now we will first talk about oxidoreductase. Individual, we will go through individual group and then we will name the individual enzyme. So all enzymes catalyze oxidation reduction reaction. So oxidation reduction reaction you must have studied in chemistry and organic chemistry. What is transfer of electron? So those compounds which accept electron are called to be reduced, and which the compound that gives electron are positively charged, and this compound is called to be oxidized. So oxidate, this is oxidation and reduction reaction. So this is called oxidation and reduction reaction. So oxidoreductase reaction occurs with the transfer of electron. Now how do we name this? So this is regarded as substrate that is oxidized is regarded as hydrogen donor. Actually in our reaction, organic reaction in biochemistry, electron will not be donated directly, it will be donated in the form hydrogen, so it will bond it to hydrogen. So those substrate that is oxidized is regarded as hydrogen donor, not electron donor, it is regarded as hydrogen donor. And those compounds which accept hydrogen are called hydrogen acceptor. So this is how you can see those. How do we write this systemic name here? We write the name of donor, which is donor of this hydrogen, and then we write the name of acceptor, and then we write the oxidoreductase. This is the systemic name. Okay, this is the systemic name. Actually, generally we don't write in our reaction, we don't write this, we generally write this only. So this is the systemic name. You write the donor, Da, and oxidoreductase, donor, acceptor, and oxidoreductase. The common name will be dehydrogenase. So this common name will be dehydrogenase here for those which accept hydrogen. So we will talk about this. We will talk in detail after this slide. So oxidase is the thing which will accept oxygen. Let's see this. First, see the example. How example of this enzyme? 7-dehydrocholesterol reductase. 7-dehydrocholesterol reductase is one of the enzymes that come into the pathway of cholesterol synthesis. This is the part of enzyme of cholesterol synthesis. Now see reductase. Can you see reductase? So what does it mean? It reduces. This enzyme reduces, means gives hydrogen, add hydrogen. This is the donor. Enzyme itself is a donor. Enzyme actually takes hydrogen from some group. We will talk. First, let me do this. So number is given to this enzyme is 1. This enzyme commission number is 131. You can see 13121. 1 is given for oxidoreductase, and this 3 is given for, you can see 3 is acting as acting on CH group as donor. This is the donor here. Okay, and this is, you can see donor here is this, and now you can see acceptor here. Acceptor is NADPH here. 1 is NADPH. Now hydrogen is transferred to this. So donor plus acceptor, and this is the unique name given to the enzyme. So this is how enzyme commission number is given, and this will, you can see this will decide the behavior of this enzyme, and this is how you will, if you understand this number. Okay, so specific number is given. 3 is always for CH group. So you will understand from 3. Okay, this is fall under the oxidoreductase reaction. It will do oxidation reduction reaction and transfer hydrogen from this CH group to, and this 1 is for always for NAD or NADP. So it will transfer this hydrogen from NAD or either NAD or NADP. Now we will go, this is the specific name. So this is how you will understand the behavior and enzyme name. This is the enzyme commission number. So oxidoreductase is of 4 types. You can see dehydrogenase, when some enzyme removes hydrogen from substrate. This is called dehydrogenase. Oxidase is the enzyme which will utilize oxygen to oxidize the compound, direct oxygen. If some enzyme, if it utilizes direct oxygen, we call it oxidase. And hydrolases are the enzyme when they put a hydroxy group to the compound. It is called hydroxylase. And very famous example of hydroxylase is cytochrome 450 system of enzyme. Cytochrome 450 system of enzyme. So remember, this is very important enzyme. This is called hydroxylase, and reductase is the enzyme which actually put the hydrogen, to molecule. We will talk about the reductase in fatty acid synthesis. Just note this. We will talk about this reductase in fatty acid synthesis. So let's talk about this lactate dehydrogenase. You can see this 1 is given for oxidoreductase. This 1 is given for the donor group. What is the donor group? Is lactate is the donor group here. So this is this group. Any group containing this carbon OH is called, which given. This alcohol is given 1 number. So donor is alcohol here in lactate. And acceptor, as we have already talked, acceptor here in NAD. So this is acceptor, that is why this is given 1. And 27 number is given for this enzyme, particular enzyme. So lactate dehydrogenase, the name is again donor plus acceptor into oxidoreductase. So donor is lactate NAD plus oxidoreductase. So name of this enzyme is lactate NAD oxidoreductase. And the commission number, enzyme commission number is 11127. And glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase will also be given the same way name. So I have not written here. Transfer, let me talk about transferase. What a transferase? Transferase is the enzyme that will transfer certain group from other group. The transferase is the same way. You write donor and acceptor and group transferase. What group is transferred? That is called transferase. This is the systemic nomenclature of transferase. So how is this enzyme number? How is this enzyme commission number is given? You can see here. So let me take one example of one enzyme. This is aminotransferase. An amino group is transferred from which? Spartate. This is donor. To oxaloacetate. So spartate oxaloacetate amino transferase. You can see from this is a spartate, this is alpha ketoglutarate. Amino group is transferred from this to this, and this becomes oxaloacetate, and this alpha ketoglutarate becomes glutamate. Now you can see the donor here. This is group transferase group. This is donor. This is acceptor. The acceptor here is alpha ketoglutarate is given acceptor 1 number, and this is given aspartate is given 6 number. So this is how enzyme commission number is given. You can see the example. So aspartate aminotransferase. The name itself suggests transferase. Here 2 enzyme I have given. The kinase. Kinase is very important. Enzymes. All kinases actually are transferases. Remember, all kinases are transferase. All kinases are transferase. Did you understand? Till now, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
If you have any problem, you can you can actually ask question in between also. So all kinases are transferase. Kinases are very, very important enzyme. So what does this kinase do? Actually, kinase utilize ATP to transfer phosphate to substrate. Actually, transfer phosphate from ATP to this molecule, and it will form ADP plus phosphorylated substrate. So always kinase always use ATP to transfer. Just remember, this is kinase. This is kinase. Kinase, what does it do? It will, so this is ATP. As I have already told you yesterday, ATP has 3-phosphate. So it will transfer phosphate from this ATP to substrate, to this substrate. And what is released is ADP. So this is kinase. All kinases do that. Whether it is creatine kinase, whether it is pyruvate kinase. So these are creatine and pyruvate are name of substrate. Whether it is a protein kinase, all kinases does this. You can see here. So this is transferase name, and this is phosphotransferase, and this is, you can see, phosphotransferase with alcohol group is given. Pyruvate kinase is given this name. So pyruvate kinase will transfer phosphate. All kinases are phosphotransferase. All kinases are phosphotransferase. All kinases are phosphotransferase, and that transfer phosphate to alcohol group. So all kinases, actually all kinases, if you see, it will have these 3 common names: 2, 7, and 1. Okay, because it will transfer phosphate from ATP to alcohol group. So all kinases will have 2, 7, 1, and they will be different in this number only. You can see this kinase being transferred. You can put this thing into imagination through this cartoon. This transferring phosphate group to substrate. This is kinases. Now you can see, very important. And phosphorylase is also actually transferase. What does it do? It cuts this bond. It actually transfer phosphate group, phosphate PO4 group to glucose, and this is polysaccharide, glycogen. And actually you can see this is phosphate. I have written phosphate. Imagine this phosphate as an X, and using this phosphate, it is cutting this bond. So understand this cartoon. So this all phosphorylases are transferase. Remember
Sir-
phosphorylase.
Sorry, could you go over that again?
All phosphorylases are transferase. We in our body we have one phosphorylase, very important phosphorylase, that is called glycogen phosphorylase. Okay, glycogen phosphorylase, and this glycogen phosphorylase actually do the glycogenolysis, breaks the glycogen into glucose. Now this phosphorylase use phosphate group. You can see this use phosphate group to cut the bond between two glucose. And what does it do? Actually, it transfer phosphate to this glucose. After cutting bond, what will happen is glucose 1 phosphate will be there in the cell, and that is why these are all called these are all transferase. That is why it is called transferase, because it transfer phosphate to certain carbohydrate. After transferring this phosphate, the bond will be broken down. And I want you to memorize this concept through this cartoon. Just remember this phosphate as an X. Using this phosphate, it cuts the bond between glucose molecule. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the phosphorylase. You can see the phosphorylase will break the bond between glucose here. It adds phosphate here. And after adding phosphate, you can see this phosphate is being transferred here. Can you see? Here is no phosphate, and that is why this is transferase. Phosphorylase are transferase. So these are important enzymes. That is why I am reviewing.